What is up, YouTube? It's RSmario here, bringing you another WWE video just in time for the road to the draft. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do two videos. I'm going to do a Raw video and I'm going to do a SmackDown video for 13 superstars that each roster will probably get. This is a prediction, so you know me and predictions. There's no real guarantee this is going to be a thing. So, red shirt, Raw, let's go. Alright, so first off, what I think is going to happen with Raw is basically Raw is going to be the entertainment show. It's going to be the sports entertainment show. Your talkers are going to be here. Your showmen are going to be here. Your promo guys who can do long segments are going to be on this show. It's probably still going to be the flagship show. I do hope it's going to go down to 2 hours. But if it's going to go to 3 hours, they're going to need some guys who can fill time with segments and promos and things like that. Not all of it's going to be wrestling. Even though 3 hours of wrestling, I could totally deal with. But let's go. So your first pick right off the top, John Cena. Originally, I had John Cena pegged to go to SmackDown, but then my Raw #1 pick ended up getting suspended. So John Cena will go to SmackDown. He's probably not gonna take the Golden Boy spot from Roman Reigns. More than likely, they might forgive him for this. They've forgiven other Golden Boys in the past, but they might forgive him for this. He will definitely be on Raw, though, and he's going to be the wily veteran. So if you remember the original draft, there was two kind of like wily veterans, or two like locker room generals of WWE, one for each show. Raw had Shawn Michaels, and SmackDown had The Undertaker. Now we know that John Cena is not The Undertaker or Shawn Michaels. But as far as the length of his career, his accomplishments compared to all the new guys who are either NXT or some guys brought in from outside, he could kind of sort of be a wily veteran and definitely be a general in the locker room and in the ring compared to these guys. So John Cena is #1 pick for Raw. #2 pick is going to be an interesting one, seeing as though what I just said about Raw being the entertainment show. #2 pick, Samoa Joe. So Samoa Joe being the #2 pick is interesting. The reason why I did this is because, one, I had to separate him from somebody else who's on the other list, and two is because even though this is going to be the entertainment show, we need somebody who's still going to bring that pure wrestling punch to Raw. I mean, because it's Raw. It's still a wrestling show. They still need some of that new generation. Because my theory with the draft is the draft's going to be like a cake. It's going to be like a layer cake. And even if you cut a layer cake in half, each side of the layer cake is going to have each layer of that cake. So you're going to have your entertainers, you're going to have your pure wrestling guys, you're going to have your tag team division and your women's division, even though the championships will be on each show. And they'll probably switch back and forth if they get beaten, champions change hands, stuff like that. But each show needs a little bit of every division, even though the titles are going to be on individual brands. So Samoa Joe will bring that pure wrestling punch to Raw. #3 pick for Raw is Bayley. Weird pick, seeing as though another pick I have going down the line is going to be pretty interesting as well. But she's going to work her way up on Raw, into the top of the women's division. Because I think Sasha Banks is going to be dealing with Charlotte for at least the next couple months, definitely going into and possibly through SummerSlam. Bayley, if she does get pulled up, probably won't have a spot in the spotlight just yet. So better put her on Raw and have her work her way up with other women wrestlers until she's ready, or until Charlotte has an opening, or or there's a heel champion. Cause I do believe Sasha's probably going to dethrone Charlotte. So Bayley definitely needs a heel champion to go against. So until she has a spot in that championship picture, she will be on Raw.
Don't you dare be silent! Clap for your world famous two-time champs and feel the power! It's a new day! Yes!
Number 4, the New Day. Yep, the tag team champions, the WWE Tag Team Champions, will be on Raw. Why? Because I think the tag team division is going to be centered on Raw. I know SmackDown is going to be the wrestling-centric show, but Raw needs more guys. So if the tag team championship is on Raw, more tag teams will be on Raw. They could definitely use, half of the tag team, throw them out there as a jobber singles match, because singles momentum and tag momentum are two completely different things. They can be singles jobbers, but it can be tag team champions. That's not a real big thing. I mean, if you look at the New Day separately, they're probably mid-carders at best. Together, they're a freaking beast. So to throw off those extra hours, they can totally throw in a one-on-one match with a tag team guy. So, tag team division goes to Raw with the New Day. Which brings me to my number 5 pick, American Alpha. Yup, so American Alpha is definitely on the hotspot track to being tag team champions and putting the tag team division on fire, so they're definitely going to go to Raw. Eventually, they're going to get a spot. Eventually, a heel team is going to dethrone them, and American Ultra is going to be right there to fight that heel team in some awesome tag team matches. Speaking of that heel team, number 5, Strowman and Rowan. Alright, so I do believe that eventually, whenever the New Day and the Wyatts square off, I do think that the Wyatts might be able to finally dethrone the tag team champions and win the tag team championship. But why are there only 2 Wyatts here? Because I think you need to split the Wyatt family up. For the good of all the members, I think it's time to split up. Now, by doing this, you would give Bray Wyatt a tag team championship, because I think, use the Freebird rule so everybody in the Wyatts can hold the title. But I think Strowman and Rowan are the ones who really need to be tag team champions. Remember my reference to War Machine from Ring of Honor? These two can make an incredibly awesome big man tag team. Now, are they the best wrestlers? No. That's why they shouldn't be alone. Put them together, make them a 2 big man tag team. It'll work. Give them the tag team titles, have them work New Day, have them work American Alpha. It'll work. Build up their skills that way. Number 7, the most awesome man in the world, Austin Aries. The AA superstar will be on Raw. because he has that charisma and he has that wrestling ability that he can bring that pure wrestling punch to Raw. But he's also a showman, and they're definitely gonna have a lot of those on Raw. I can definitely see him being upper mid card and maybe even hitting a high card a little bit. You know, as probably a main event heel somewhere down the line. Austin Aries to Raw. Number 8, Roman Reigns. Alright, so this is not in any particular order, so it's not like, oh, he hates Roman Reigns, even though everybody hates Roman Reigns. But no, I put Roman Reigns number 8 because actually I didn't really know where I wanted to put Roman Reigns until I was late into making the process. Late in the process of making the draft. But Roman Reigns will definitely go to Raw. I don't think this is going to derail him as the Golden Boy. I think he'll still be fine on the fast track of being the Golden Boy of WWE. They'll probably just slow him down a bit and give Dean Ambrose a chance to shine. But I think he will definitely go to Raw, and he may even get the title back somewhere down the line.
Awesome! I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees. I came to play.
And the champion of WWE Raw, The Miz. Yup, the champion of Raw, the only singles champion on Raw, The Miz, is going to Raw. Because if there is a showman, a heel, it is The Miz. And he can definitely talk. And Miz TV segments can take up time and burn time until you guys decide to wise up and shrink it down to 2 hours. But Miz on Raw would definitely work. He can work a little bit, and he won't get overshadowed by all of the wrestler guys on SmackDown. Next up, we have Sami Zayn. Alright, so the reason I did this, I'm not quite sure about this placement. Because right now, because I did this list like a couple days ago, and then I kind of thought about it and changed it. So this is like the 5th revision of this list. But I do believe Sami Zayn will do pretty well on Raw. Because there's not a lot of big guys over here, so he can definitely, apply his craft here. He can bring like that kind of over the top, aerial style of wrestling to Raw. Something that Raw would definitely need. He's not a big talker, which would be interesting. Maybe he could develop himself on Raw as a talker. But Sami Zayn goes to Raw. And next up, we have Sheamus. So, Sheamus, another talker, kinda, but he's definitely going to be on Raw. He's going to bring that brawler status to Raw. And he's a proven brand. People hate him, but he's a guy who can definitely carry a title. He's a utility worker. And I think he's definitely going to go to Raw. Neville to Raw. Why? Because I needed to end a spot on this list. I needed a spot on this list because the list was thrown off after one of the revisions. But I do think that Neville will go to Raw. I think Neville, even though we haven't had a chance to see him really shoot promos very well, I think he can do it. And definitely, this would be definitely a time for him to develop that skill on Raw. Not to mention him and Sami Zayn as a tag team, or even fighting each other, since we know that Neville can be a very good heel in NXT, would definitely work out. last but surely not least, the man, the architect, Seth Rollins. So, why did I not separate Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns? Because this is not over. They've only had one match, really, and the end of that match was, the end of that match was clean, but it was sullied by the fact that Roman Reigns is going to get suspended. So I do believe there should be a rematch, possibly even a number one contendership rematch between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns on Raw or on a Raw pay-per-view. You know, but I definitely believe Seth Rollins is going to be on Raw because Seth Rollins can talk. He's proven that. And he's definitely going to be probably the big heel on Raw. So, that's my Raw list. Whew, man, that took a lot more work than I thought it would. So, stay tuned. The SmackDown list is probably going to be up in the same day, if not earlier. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, keep it real.